The wilderness is completely unpredictable, and a peaceful hunt can turn into a nightmare in seconds. From a wounded deer suddenly charging out of nowhere, to narrowly dodging a reckless hunter's stray bullet, would you have what it takes to survive? On December 17, 2019, YouTuber Aaron from The Hunting Public experienced what may be one of the most frightening hunting incidents ever captured on camera. He was deer hunting on opening day in Iowa. Having just purchased a brand new scope, he was eager to begin the season on a positive note. That excitement faded quickly.
It was opening morning here, and I was sliding out to that point that I saw last night out here. Spotted some deer out in front of me in the dark. Then they all took off running, and I think there was 9 hunters that walked through. I got a guy right now another guy just walked all the way across the bottom here in front of me, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and go on back a little bit further. Finally got set up over here away from some of those hunters. I still got a guy back here behind me. Anyway, I saw a whole pile of hunters back there. Ridge that I talked about last night when I was in here scouting. I saw all those deer walk right in front of this thing. There was an army of them that came in there this morning, though. Gun season's when you're gonna see the most amount of people in the woods for sure. There was like 10 or 12 of them that came in all at once. So I just decided to come all the way around the ridge. So now the big ridge is in between me and them. I think I'm past most of them now to where I might have a chance. I can see a long way out here across in front.
After moving toward a point he had scouted the previous evening, he reached the area and spotted several deer ahead of him in the dark. Within moments, the deer suddenly scattered. Seconds later, he realized the reason. Around 9 hunters walked directly through the same section of woods. One stood roughly 60 yards away, while another crossed the lower ground in front of him. Choosing to reduce the pressure, Aaron moved farther along the ridge to create separation. He eventually set up again, though another hunter remained somewhere behind him. From his new position, he had a wide view across the terrain as daylight began to break. It quickly became clear that something was wrong. Nearly a dozen hunters were concentrated in the same area. When that many people pursue the same deer during gun season, the risk rises fast.
Boy just shot one over there. Something must have run back through it behind me because there was like 6, 7 shots just now after that turkey went through. 2 does. They're gonna be in trouble if they keep going that way. He's pointing his gun right to the right of me, where those deer are at. He must be able to see them. This guy's pointing his gun straight over here behind me at those deer. Here they come. They're coming across to him. Jiminy Christmas, don't shoot. I'm right here. He's pointing that gun right at me. Jeez. As you could tell in the camera though, he's pointing the gun straight at me. He watched me walk up this edge this morning. I was looking at him through binoculars and he was staring over here. And I could hear slugs or bullets or whatever ricocheting down through there. Got to be safe in gun season. You have to be careful. After all these guys came in here, oh man, that was scary. Those deer were directly in between him and I, and he had his gun pointed straight at him. And that bullet to ricochet, it's gonna hit the side of this hill that I'm sitting on. There's just too many people right here, too close together. When deer run amongst them, that's what happens. That is exactly why you wear orange in gun season. There's a buck right here in front of me. Hang on, nice buck.
Shots rang out after movement passed through the woods, followed by several more gunshots in quick succession. Deer began running between positions, placing multiple hunters within close proximity of one another. At one point, another hunter aimed directly across Aaron's location. The camera shows the firearm pointed straight in his direction while he remained exposed, wearing orange. He had seen the man earlier through binoculars. Moments later, a shot was fired. Aaron was visibly shaken. One of the most basic rules of hunting is knowing what lies beyond your target. With so many hunters packed into a tight space, the margin for error shrinks dramatically. If that bullet had traveled slightly differently, the outcome could have been far worse. Situations like this show how quickly pressure and crowding can change the level of risk in the woods. Would you have stayed in that spot, or left as soon as you saw how many hunters were there? Zeb is a seasoned outdoorsman with many years of hunting experience, but what happened on this trip was something he never could have fully anticipated. The footage was later shared on the YouTube channel Zeb Cox on December 2nd, 2024. The day after Thanksgiving, with several fresh inches of snow covering the ground, Zeb chose to take advantage of the conditions and head out to search for new deer tracks.
It's Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. I'm up here in Vermont, just got 6 inches of fresh snow. Hopefully pick up a fresh track. It's 7 o'clock right now, so I got all day. It's been about a half hour so far, and I just came to a barnyard. Looks like they've been feeding in here after it snowed. There's no snow on any of the tracks. So I'm gonna work my way through here and try to sort this out and find the tracks leaving out of here, get on them and track them down.
The snow was deep and exhausting to move through, but the trail remained visible, guiding him farther into the thick forest. As he pushed through heavy snow and tall trees, the atmosphere felt increasingly tense. Deer had passed through the area, and after following the trail for nearly half a mile, he finally saw the animal he had been tracking. With his rifle prepared, he fired. That's when everything changed. Without warning, the wounded deer suddenly charged directly toward him from the trees. Visibility was limited, the moment was startling, and there was almost no time to respond. Relying purely on instinct, Zeb stepped aside just in time as the deer rushed past and vanished deeper into the woods, where it was later finished. What was meant to be a normal hunt quickly became a moment that left him rattled, a clear reminder of how fast situations can shift in the wild. Would you have been ready for something like that? On July 24, 2012, a bizarre and deeply disturbing video spread quickly across YouTube. It was posted by a man named Devin, who was near Bridgeport on a fishing and camping trip with a friend. As they headed back toward their campsite, everything appeared calm. Then Devin spotted a deer acting in a way that instantly felt unusual.
Back. Okay, Tosh.
Without warning, the deer suddenly sprinted forward and charged directly at his friend. Caught completely off guard, they stepped back, clearly shaken.
Tosh, Tosh, come here. Tosh, let's get out of here. Walk. Don't want to. Go. Okay, Tosh. All right, we got an aggressive deer. It's gonna attack our dog. Go. Okay. Just walk that way. Walk the dog that way. Easiest way back.
deer seemed to pause for a brief moment, but the situation did not settle. Instead of leaving, the animal continued to trail them, lunging several times and refusing to create distance. Its behavior looked aggressive, almost wild. For a deer, that type of reaction did not seem typical. No clear explanation was ever confirmed. It could have been guarding something close by. It could have been sick. Or there may have been another reason altogether. Even now, the footage feels unsettling to watch. Sometimes animals react in ways we don't expect, and we may never know exactly why. What do you think was happening in that moment? Hunter harassment is more common than many people realize, and for these hunters, the situation escalated within seconds. The footage was later uploaded to the YouTube channel Flatline Fowl on September 10, 2022. They headed out early for a morning of goose hunting, and at first, everything unfolded as expected. They had already harvested a goose when a man suddenly appeared in the distance, yelling and closely monitoring their actions.
So, little morning update here. 6:50, we got the first flock come in, put him down pretty good. He's a little unhappy apparently, and he already was giving us problems this morning before we even set up in the dark. He owns half-acre land that isn't this. We have permission from the farmer to be here. We're trying to get a hold of NCON here for harassment, so because we're not taking this year. Normally, happens all the time. Try to stay legal, and then people that think they know what's going on. Had enough of it. River's trying to make some phone calls over there.
And trying to fire ECO officer's numbers so we can get her out here.
But yeah, so stay tuned. Could get spicy.
All right. We got a.
We're not confiscating our birds.
We heard what she said.
What?
What'd she say?
We're not confiscating her birds. That's illegal.
There you
heard
go.
that? He just
Good job, boss.
Don't shut up. Shut up.
Believing they were fully within their rights, they attempted to contact a game warden to report the harassment. Rather than stepping away, the man grew more aggressive. He waved his arms to scare geese off and deliberately attempted to interfere with the hunt. Soon, others joined him. The shouting intensified, the behavior became increasingly hostile, and eventually, threats were made, including death threats. Police were called. When officers arrived, the hunters presented their licenses, identification, and proof of permission to be on the property.
Nothing, just goose hunting.
Who owns the property?
The property?
Anybody I know who owns it.
Yeah.
Anybody here associated with? Okay.
I went and talked to him last night and he said yes.
And
go ahead.
it's your understanding who's the property owner? Yes. Okay, that's what they indicated.
Yep.
He lives down there?
Yeah, he lives right at the end of this road. You take a right on the left. Yep.
Sharon. You were going to have this many people with you, or?
I asked him for goose hunting and he didn't say anything about having a limited number of people.
Obvious. All right, so I'm not busting balls.
Yeah.
What time was the first shot?
6:50. We have it all on film. I think we had 4 cameras rolling.
He was yelling at us since 5 o'clock this morning when we were setting decoys.
Since 5?
He was yelling
How
at
many
us.
birds have you guys killed?
We
11?
shot 11.
11.
And
How many are you allowed to take?
The limit is 15 per person.
Per person?
Yes.
All right.
For early
I'm not
season.
up on that NCON shit.
Yeah, we've been
called
calling
them
them all morning.
As soon as he started yelling at us this morning, I notified my one buddy who's an NCON officer, and he said, all right, just keep me updated.
And we've been calling.
And then he said, is anything else? Call the regions. We call the regions.
Is it just you two, or everybody?
Everyone.
No, not everybody. Yeah. At the end of the season road down here. Yeah, right there. Right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Right at the end of it. Kill us. We have it all on camera.
Harassment. Every time the birds were flying around, he was screaming at the birds. Just hunter's harassment.
He threatened to kill you.
Yeah, I have guys that'll come here, rip every one of your faces off and kill every last one of you. Yeah, we film everything, so we do everything.
After reviewing the footage, police determined that the hunters were acting legally and responsibly. The hunt ended not long after. What remained, however, was more than simple frustration. It was the unsettling realization that harassment can escalate quickly, and once threats are made, there is no way to predict how far someone may be willing to take it. Leon was driving his quad through the woods when something immediately stood out. Attached to a tree was an illegal deer stand, clear proof of poaching. The situation already felt off, but what followed nearly turned deadly.
We could get all down through here. Now, if this were a survival situation, I'd have a shotgun with me and just ride right through this kind of stuff. You will pick up growl, every other kind of crazy stuff. Little birds, big birds. I would dare say there are wild turkeys somewhere around here. Whoa! Whoa! Don't shoot! Huh? Huh? Oh, I was just riding. Okay, I'll get out right now. Okay, all right. Is this your private property? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, I'm leaving.
Without any warning, a shot suddenly echoed through the trees. The round flew dangerously close, slicing through the air above the sound of his engine. Leon stopped, placed his camera down, and made sure he was visible, keeping his shotgun within reach. He later said the suspected poacher fired in his direction, behaved suspiciously, and at one point aimed his firearm at him 3 separate times. Leon demanded the man identify himself, but the individual refused to respond. One thing is clear: firing without properly identifying a target is reckless, and in this case, it came frighteningly close to costing someone their life. The actions captured on camera make the encounter even more disturbing, raising doubts about whether the shot was truly accidental. Do you think this was a mistake or something more intentional? Justin K is a hunting YouTuber recognized for his first-person footage of tracking and pursuing wild boar throughout Florida. On this particular trip, however, he faced something he clearly had not anticipated. The video was uploaded on February 14, 2025. After spotting a boar, Justin steadied himself, aimed, and took the shot. Initially, it seemed like a solid hit. Within seconds, the situation changed as the boar suddenly charged straight toward him. On camera, it may not appear overwhelming, but wild boar are extremely powerful, quick, and capable of inflicting serious damage. If one is not stopped fast, the risk increases immediately. Justin remained focused and fired again, successfully stopping the animal just in time. Moments like this show how quickly control can shift in the field. Sometimes a shot that looks clean does not end the threat right away. Do you think you would stay calm in that situation? A hunter climbed into his tree stand as evening moved across the forest. As the light faded, the woods became still, and then the sound started.
Hey guys, well, I'm about a mile from the gifting rock right now. It's starting to get dusk. It's about 35 degrees out, and I want you to listen to what I'm listening to out here. It's pretty crazy. I'm bow hunting for deer tonight. That's how we feed our family here. We don't buy beef. We harvest venison and we eat that. So anyway, I want you to hear this. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can hear a little better. Like I said, I'm quite a long ways away from the gifting rock. So why are we hearing that out here, a mile away? I'm going to try to ask the farmer that owns this property if he's ever heard this sound before. Anyhow, alright guys, stay safe out there. Hopefully I can get a deer yet tonight. It's the 3rd time I've hunted here and haven't seen a deer yet, so maybe that's what it is.
The sounds were not like normal wildlife. They were deep, harsh, and unsettling, unlike anything he had experienced before. Sitting high in the stand with his heart racing, he listened as the echoes rolled through the trees, noticing that other animals appeared to avoid the area completely. The video ends shortly after, without revealing what caused the noise. Based on viewer reactions and comments, whatever was out there that night did not seem to match any familiar wildlife, and the fear captured in that moment felt genuine. Sometimes the forest goes quiet for a reason, and sometimes it doesn't. What do you think was making those sounds? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.